Hey everybody, this is Ms. Redding, and I just wanted to say hi to you all and check in. I know this is a very strange time for all of us. I'm not even really sure where to look, but I hope if this is working right, you can see me and you can see my screen. We'll find out when I look at the video. But by now you should have seen this update that I posted on Schoology for what to expect for the next couple of weeks. And Mr. Holsopple, Mrs. Eisenhower, and I worked pretty hard on putting together a clear message for you, and hopefully it makes sense. But as always, please email if you have questions. So first and foremost, know that we are aware that this is a really fluid situation and things may change. So we'll do the best that we can. For now, anything that you guys need is going to be linked on Schoology. It's linked on both the agenda that I've put there. It's called the Bridge Unit Agenda, and it's also linked in the gradebook where necessary. You might also open up a Schoology called Distance Learning Material, and that's where you'll access some of the individual assignments. So one question that a lot of you probably have is, what about the Unit 5 test? Some of you passed your essential skills, some of you haven't. So know that we've made the decision to not have a Unit 5 test. So if you've already passed your essential skills for that test, you're good to go. However, if you haven't yet passed those essential skills, we will do our best to work with you to make that happen, either during this time off or when we return. Talk about that in a minute. Talk about it now. In order to help you pass, we are going to be posting some essential skill review on Schoology. We're working on that now. It's not quite finished. And then what I'd like to suggest is first reach out to me via email if you're not exactly sure what you have yet to pass. It's basically outlined in Schoology. But I did bring home your any work that you hadn't yet seen. If you've already done a retake and already knew what your status was, then I did not bring that home. You could email me, like I said, but what we're looking to do is to try to do some Google Hangouts. We could do Google Chat, which is typing and not the same as a face-to-face conversation, but we'll schedule those via appointment only, not just you'll reach out to me randomly with Google Hangout and hope I'll answer, but we'll schedule that in advance. Now note that the school would really like us to have your parents involved in this, as just like they might come to a meeting, a parent-teacher conference. And we understand that they're going to work and hopefully and may not be able to attend in person, but they can also attend remotely as long as they have the Google app. They can also log in with Google from their computer wherever they are. What else should you be working on? So what we've put together is what we're calling a bridge unit. A bridge is the old material with the material we hope to get to when we return. And the nice thing about it is most of it you've already learned, so you should feel comfortable in that. But of course, we've added on some extra material or depth that maybe you haven't seen before. There's an activity that you could do at home. It's called the Sticky Tape Lab, and chances are, if you're a physics student, you may have actually already done it. It's pretty fun, and kids of any age can do it, but you're investigating some simple attraction repulsion forces, but really getting at the structure of an atom. And that's where we were going to go next anyway. So this lab lends itself to you doing it at home. Everything you need for that lab is described in the handout. There is a reading that accompanies the lab as well as a post-lab handout. Now, rest assured, if you don't have the materials at home, which by the way are very simple, you can still watch a video watching somebody else do the lab and still complete the lab handout without doing it yourself. On the schedule, the agenda, let me pull that up here for a second. Hopefully you can see this now. This agenda outlines what we would like you to try to do over the next 3 weeks. And these are all hyperlinks, as you can tell, lots of color, probably annoying, sorry about that. But everything you need is here except for some of the things that are posted directly on Schoology, which I have annoyingly highlighted in yellow, so you can access them in Schoology there, and you'll be able to open them up. There was something I was going to show you. I guess just the outline of the agenda. It's a little different format than usual, just given the fact that I wanted it to be really just sequential for daily what you should be looking at, or at least trying to do within the week. Back to this You should know that this material is really just to keep you engaged and to keep your mind thinking about chemistry, and so that you're ready to go when we come back. Know that we're not grading any of this. It's not worth points. Even though it's in the grade book, it's worth 0 points, but it was the only way for me to show you that this was the direction you should be going, basically. So don't stress yourself out over it, but try. None of it's difficult, and I think you'll feel more comfortable and just more ready for the next unit. Okay, moving on. So it is that work is self-paced, but we've kind of organized it into weeks so that you don't feel like you need to do it all at once, and kind of grouped it according to topic so that it would make more sense to you. For office hours, you can always email me, but know that I'm more likely to get back to you quickly if you do so during the hours of 9:15 to 3:05. I'm going to use the early morning hours to preparing for the day, with lessons, etc., and answering emails from the day before, and maybe scheduling appointments. But otherwise, those are the hours that I will be keeping. And as I mentioned before, if we need to schedule a Google Hangout, the video voice chat, basically, then we'll schedule that via email first. Hey, speaking of video communication, I think that given the way that we run class, you may be missing your group or people in your class or people in other classes of the periods that you still work with. I would encourage you guys to use the Google Hangout Meet or Google Hangout Chat to stay in touch with each other. I know you all have your own like FaceTime and everything that you do, but this might be a nice way to stay connected with your group so that you can work through material together if you'd like. I think that would keep us connected. This is a really strange environment that none of us are used to. I'm in an online program myself right now, and it's taken me a very long time to feel connected to my fellow students. You guys are going from 0 to 60, right? And so this is an unusual circumstance. I would really encourage you to explore that. Speaking of connection, I put out there on definitely not Facebook. I put out there on Schoology a question to see how you all feel about maybe using a Remind group. I'm familiar with it. I can easily set one up for us. My only concern is I'm worried about leaving people out. So ponder that, respond to the question that I put on Schoology, not Facebook, and I'll see if that's something that I should do. I'm also working on a document where I will post any videos like these. Hopefully they'll be a little bit better, that I put together, and maybe even some humanity breaks, things to just make us feel like a more structured day. I don't know about you guys, but I can only handle so much unstructured time before I go a little bit cuckoo. So you can use it if you like, and feel free, or don't feel like you have to. I think that's all I have. Let me run through my little list. One little thing is that the lectures or the notes that we have linked on the bridge unit, most of them have a voiceover option to follow along with. There's one that I still need to do. It's the atomic structure set of notes. The slides are there, but not the voice yet. I'll work on that. The others that are there are Mr. Holsoppel speaking, so it wouldn't be me with my voice suddenly getting deeper. I'll make sure I throw my voice on the atomic structure one. And I think that is all. I hope you guys are doing okay and staying safe and finding some new ways to spend your time with your family. Talk to you soon.